I can't lose you two all alone. I'm here.
When Cindy wore the beads she bought from the market, she didn't know they were binding her soul to another woman's fate. Hello, family, and welcome to African Native Stories. Please subscribe and leave a like since it means a lot to us. Sit back and relax as we start the story.
Now, this is how you shine.
The sun had barely stretched over Soweto's rooftops when Cindy, a 22-year-old fashion student with an obsession for accessories, waltzed into the bustling market square. Her laughter was bright, her phone camera flashing as she vlogged a fashion treasure hunt. She believed she had an eye for beauty, but that day, beauty had its own eye on her. Near the back of the market stood an old woman, dressed in faded orange robes. Her table was bare except for one thing, a small wooden box covered with cowrie shells. Inside gleamed a set of waist beads unlike any Cindy had ever seen. They shimmered faintly, like they had swallowed moonlight. How much, Gogo? Cindy asked, trying to sound casual. The old woman's voice trembled like wind through dry grass. For you, child, just 50 rand. But remember, these beads choose you, not the other way around. Cindy giggled. Then I guess they made a good choice. As she handed over the money, Gogo's eyes clouded with something like pity. Be careful, my girl. The night does not forget what it owns. That night, Cindy stood before her mirror, wrapping the beads around her slim waist. She twirled, admiring how the golden strands caught the dim bedroom light. Ah, I look hot, she whispered, posting a mirror selfie with a caption. Waist snatched, beads blessed, just vibes only. But as the clock neared midnight, the beads began to glow. Faintly at first, then fiercely, like fire beneath her skin. She gasped, clutching her stomach.
You feel me here now. I have always been here.
A strange chill filled the room. Her reflection shimmered, and for a second, she wasn't alone. Behind her stood the shadow of another woman, eyes hollow, face streaked with tears. Then darkness swallowed her whole. When Cindy woke, her room looked the same, but the air felt different, thicker, heavier. The beads no longer glowed, yet they pulsed against her skin, like a heartbeat not her own. At breakfast, her mother frowned. Cindy, why are you wearing beads like that? They look old. Cindy scoffed, glancing down. But for a brief second, they did look different, cracked, brown, ancient. When she blinked, they were golden
I
again.
can't believe we're finally doing this together. This juice is so good. I've been meaning to tell you about my trip. It was amazing.
Later that day, she met her best friend, Naledi, at the campus cafe. Naledi squealed, Girl, you're glowing. What's your secret? Cindy laughed awkwardly. Probably the beads, she said, though the truth was she hadn't slept, eaten, or even dreamed normally since wearing them. That evening, as she showered, she heard a faint humming, a woman's voice, soft, mournful. The melody carried words she didn't understand, but her body began to sway to it hypnotically. She looked in the mirror and froze. The woman from before stood there again, this time clearer. Her skin was darker, her hair in long matted locks, her eyes burning with pain. You took what's mine, she whispered. Now you'll finish what I couldn't. Cindy screamed, stumbling back. The voice followed her, echoing through the steam. Midnight will return, Cindy. And with it, me.
I can feel it. It's
By the third night, Cindy couldn't ignore it. Her dreams were filled with flashes of fire, betrayal, and dancing under a red moon. Every time she woke, the beads felt tighter, almost digging into her flesh. She tried to remove them. They wouldn't budge. Panicked, she ran back to the market, but the old woman's store was gone. Only an empty space remained, with faint cowrie shells scattered on the ground. That night, Naledi came over for a sleepover to cheer her up. They painted nails, watched movies, and joked around. For a moment, everything felt normal until midnight struck.
No! What's happening? Cindy! No! No! I can't lose you two. Not alone. I'm here.
The lights flickered. The TV turned off. The beads ignited again, glowing bright red this time. Naledi gasped, "Cindy, your waist." Suddenly, Cindy's body jerked upright, her eyes rolling white. The voice returned, stronger, speaking through her lips. "You wear the beads of Nomvula, the betrayed wife of a Zulu chief. She was burned alive for a sin she didn't commit. Now her spirit seeks justice." Naledi backed away, trembling. "Cindy, please fight it." But the spirit spoke again through tears. "He lied. He killed me. I will finish it through her." Morning came and Cindy awoke drenched in sweat, with no memory of the night before. Naledi refused to speak to her. On her phone were strange voice notes, recordings of her laughing and crying at the same time, speaking in an ancient dialect. Desperate, she went to a sangoma in Soweto.
I see shadows moving, but I cannot smell Saidu.
The old woman's eyes widened the moment Cindy lifted her shirt. "Hi, those beads belong to Nomvula of the Burning Hill. You've tied your soul to hers. Can you remove them?" Cindy begged. The sangoma shook her head slowly. "You must finish her story, or she will finish yours." That night, Cindy sat on her bed with trembling hands, clutching the small clay charm the sangoma had given her. When midnight comes, the old woman had warned, "Do not run. Listen. What she shows you will decide your fate." Cindy stared at the clock. 11:56 p.m. The air thickened, her lights flickered. Then came the humming, soft, sorrowful, like someone crying in rhythm. The beats began to glow again, this time blue. The world around her blurred, and suddenly, she wasn't in her bedroom anymore. She was standing in a dusty Zulu village, lit by torches and moonlight.
I am the fire, I am the flame, I carry the ancestors' name. My spirit rises, my dance for the past, I sing for the future. I am Nomvula, I am forever.
Drums echoed in the distance, women danced, and in the middle of them stood Nomvula, radiant, beautiful, wearing the same beads. Cindy whispered, "Nomvula?" The woman turned, smiling sadly. "You finally came." Cindy's chest tightened. "Why are you haunting me?" Nomvula's eyes shimmered with pain. "Because your vanity called me. My spirit was bound to those beads when my husband betrayed me. You are the first to wear them since my death. You carry my story now." In flashes, Cindy saw everything. Nomvula, accused of witchcraft by jealous wives, her husband setting the fire, her screaming, reaching for help that never came. Cindy gasped, "That's horrible. But what do you want from me?" Nomvula stepped closer. "I want to live again, through you. But for that to happen, you must finish what was left undone. Bring truth to my name." Before Cindy could respond, the vision shattered. She was back in her room, panting, drenched in tears. The beads cooled down, now dull and silent. She grabbed her phone and called Naledi. "I need your help. It's not a curse, it's a story, and we need to find Nomvula's grave." Naledi hesitated. "Cindy, you scared me last time. I know. But please, if I don't do this, something bad will happen." By sunrise, the two were driving toward KwaZulu-Natal, guided only by what Cindy had seen in her vision. A hill that burned under a red moon. The journey took 6 hours. As they reached the rural plains, the air grew colder. Locals refused to speak when Cindy mentioned Nomvula. Some crossed themselves. Others whispered, that hill still burns at night. When they finally reached it, the land was eerily silent. Dry grass swayed in ghostly rhythm. Cindy felt her stomach twist. The beads tingled faintly, as if sensing home. They climbed the slope until they reached a charred patch of earth surrounded by old stones. Naledi knelt, brushing dirt aside, revealing fragments of clay pots, scorched beads, and bones. This must be her, Naledi murmured. Suddenly, wind howled across the hill. The sky darkened unnaturally. The beads flared bright red. Nomvula's voice echoed through Cindy's mind. The liar still lives through his bloodline. You must make him speak the truth. Who? Cindy gasped. Before she could blink, a storm burst, lightning splitting the sky. Cindy's vision blurred again, showing her a face, a man's, identical to hers but older, sterner. Then she recognized him, her lecturer, Professor Dlamini, who had given her failing grades and mocked her dreams. Naledi's jaw dropped when Cindy told her, You mean that grumpy old man? He's Nomvula's descendant. Cindy nodded slowly, and maybe he doesn't even know the truth. That night, as they drove back to Johannesburg, thunder followed them like a curse's shadow. Cindy didn't sleep. She felt Nomvula's presence in every heartbeat. The beats whispered, Tell the world what he hides. Back at campus, Cindy cornered Professor Dlamini after class. Sir, I need to speak with you. It's about your family. The professor frowned. My family? Young lady, this is highly inappropriate. Does the name Nomvula mean anything to you? She pressed. His face went pale. The chalk fell from his hand. Where did you hear that name? Cindy's voice trembled. She was your ancestor's wife. He had her burned alive. He stepped back, shaking his head. That's an old myth. My family doesn't talk about. Because it's true, Cindy interrupted, and her spirit lives through me. She wants her truth known. The beads flared again, casting a golden light across the classroom. The professor froze as Nomvula's voice poured out through Cindy's lips. You carry his guilt. Free me, and your bloodline will find peace. The professor fell to his knees, weeping. Forgive us, Nomvula? We buried your name in shame. I didn't know you were real. A gust of warm air filled the room. The beads glowed one last time, then cracked, falling to the floor in silent pieces. Cindy collapsed. When she opened her eyes, Professor Dlamini was praying over her, trembling. You've done what I could never do, he whispered. For the first time in weeks, Cindy felt peace. The beads were gone. The curse was lifted, or so she thought. 2 months later, life returned to normal. Cindy passed her exams with distinction. Her fashion blog blew up after she shared her Beads of Nomvula story. Her posts about cultural heritage and ancestral beauty went viral, turning her into an online sensation. At her graduation ceremony, she wore a new set of waist beads, handmade, simple, white and gold. No curses this time, Naledi teased. Cindy laughed. No curses, just blessings. That night, she stood by her mirror again, just as she had on that first evening. Her reflection smiled back, peaceful and strong. But then, something shimmered. Nomvula appeared behind her, radiant, dressed in light. Thank you, Cindy, she whispered. You gave me freedom, and in return, I give you mine. Cindy's heart swelled with emotion. Will I ever see you again? Nomvula smiled. I will live through every woman who wears her beauty with truth, not vanity. As midnight came, the beads glowed faintly, not with fire this time, but with warmth. The air felt soft, forgiving. Tears rolled down Cindy's cheeks of relief, gratitude, and love. Naledi called from the next room. Cindy, your video just hit 1 million views. Cindy laughed through her tears. Tell them, it's not just fashion anymore. The wind whispered softly, carrying Nomvula's last words. Beauty remembers, truth redeems. And with that, peace finally returned to both women. The end